This week's topic is security is step one. Now, before we chase growth, we've got to build some security. A lot of people that come to us in the financial advice space, they want to do the fun, sexy stuff first. They want to do the aggressive strategies, the investing, the side hustles, all the stuff that really makes your wealth grow. But that additional growth without having your foundations in place is just going to give you additional stress that you don't need. Now, you might be wondering, what's the foundations? What's the security I need? For us, that's having an emergency buffer in place that's 3 to 6 months of your expenses. In any case that you lose your job, you lose your income, you have a 3 to 6 month time frame where your way of life can continue without deteriorating, and you've got a 3 to 6 months time frame to figure out your next steps. It's having your debt structured properly, and it's having a cash flow that's predictable. You know what money's coming in, you know what money's coming out, you know where it's going, and you know why it's going. This will give you a basic understanding of where you are and where you want to get to. Now, I want people to look at this week as building a house. When you see a builder build a house, they always start from the foundations. You know, they make sure the concrete is in place first, it's all even, then they'll move on to the framing of the house, the structure, and then later on down the track, they'll move into, you know, the upgraded kitchen, the nice amenities, all the real fun stuff that really sells the house. Now, it's the same with the portfolio. Portfolio should be built on a nice solid cash flow that's built, insurances are in place that cover you in a worst case scenario, and a super that's on track. And then later on down the track, we can look at the fun stuff, the side hustles, the investing, portfolios, that sort of thing. Now, you might be asking, why? Now, it's the same as a house. You know, you're not going to buy a house that, you know, in 5 years' time or in case of a big storm, that because the foundations weren't structurally sound, it knocks down, it falls down, you lose your house. You're not going to buy that house. Same with a portfolio. We could build you the best investment portfolio ever, but in any case of a market volatility or anything that'll sort of deteriorate a little bit, knock it down, we want to have something underneath. But if your foundations aren't set, you've got nothing underneath. So a lot of people need to realize that growth is best on a solid foundation. You know, because if we do get up and something knocks us slightly down, we've got the other stuff to sort of bring us back up to equilibrium. I saw this a little bit in my own life so we moved to England for a little bit, rented when we came back, and when we came back, we finally bought that home. And I remember my dad saying how much the weight was just lifted off his shoulders because they had that little bit of security. If anything happened to my mum or him, that my brother and I had something at least. And I think that's an emotional aspect of building out your foundations that people often neglect. So I want people to realize this week that we should really focus on building our security and foundations first, and then we can scale and grow later.